Hey, good morning YouTube and Wolf Pilot fans, Wolf Pilot YouTube fans. Guess where I'm at? No, you don't have to. Everybody knows I'm at Fox 69. Everybody knows the airplane is AOG. We're gonna see if we can't fix that today. So I'm out here and Uncle Steve's made some pretty good progress. Let's see, at the risk of being demonetized and copyright struck, let me turn down the noise here. So at this point we are down to electrical, and I see he's got the starter ready to go on there. I need to hook up the P leads on the magnetos. Looks like he's got the oil filter safety wire. Add oil, 9 quarts. I'm glad he tagged that out. Got the alternator hooked up, so I just need to come over here and put some ring terminals on these cables. And I think he's got some string on here. I'm not sure what he wants to do with that, but figure this out. I thought we were gonna go, we'll figure that out. I gotta route this cable, go inside. I thought he was going to already have the breaker panel installed. So this is what we're doing. This is breaker panel. Got a pre-drilled bus bar. So I'm gonna have to basically, we got all kinds of circuit breakers here, different amperages. 60 amp, that's kind of old and busted. It's a 5 amp. This is a circuit breaker. It's actually a switch. Might need him, don't know yet. This is the old 35 amp from the generator. They replaced the fuse. So you got some 10s here, pair of 5s. We'll need a 5 for the enable circuit. Here's Steve's beautiful breaker bus. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 perfect holes. We're gonna have plenty of circuit breakers on this aircraft. In fact, we might be able to actually, some of the things that are doubled up, we might be able to break those out into singular circuits. And I'm gonna get him to do another one just like this for the avionics bus. That's coming up, that's goodness. Here is my new 50 amp circuit breaker for the alternator. I'm gonna get that hooked up. And so it looks like I am doing, the thing I gotta figure out is, I didn't bring my freaking drill. Oh man. I got to, I believe we're gonna go ahead and pull all these breakers out here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set up the circuit breaker panel and get it mounted underneath here. And just get it done properly, and we'll just avoid those other holes. Anyhow, okay, have a mission. I guess we'll fade back in here in a moment. Oh, by the way, didn't have the starter. It's got O-ring on it, but I guess it's not ready to go on quite yet. Okay, not quite lunchtime. Magneto wires connected, or excuse me, P wires. I remember your P leads. I have landed. Oh, it's raining. That's cool. 2 of the wires for the plane power alternator connected. I was researching, trying to figure out where this other wire went to thinking, oh man, maybe I'll just repurpose that. Actually, I think what's going to happen, I'm going to cut this terminal off and pull it back in. This, I believe, is power from the master switch. So, and we got this other lead here that's shielded. I folded back. That's goes to your armature, and that's why it's shielded, coaxial. And I'll probably be cutting that off and pulling that back in there and discontinuing that as well. And I'm just gonna have to run a fresh wire from here to a 5 amp circuit breaker on the panel. Uncle Steve put together this new awesome breaker panel. You know, I don't know if I'm too keen with the double holes. I guess the breaker's holding there pretty well, but it has the breaker has these little, where can I find it? That's what I'm looking at here. This little black piece. Little black piece of metal right here, rectangular. It's got a little tang in the center of it. Locks into the neck of the breaker because there's a groove. And it's got this little foot, and that foot would lock it in its hole to keep the breaker nice and oriented, whichever way you do it. Anyway, I'm to the point that I need to mount this bus bar, but I think that what I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get one of my, God, oh yeah, cutting discs down here. Man, I don't have this stuff. Everything I need is at home, and I need to probably cut half of this off so it doesn't protrude underneath the dash. And plus, I don't want to have this. I mean, this is hot 12 volts. You have a bus bar right here. You can have, I mean, no air gap at all. I don't like that. In fact, Steve probably should have cut that sucker to size before he even went through the trouble of painting it. But this will be hidden under the dash. You won't see it. All right.
Find out what that wire is. Let me go see here. Where'd I put it? Have you got the angle iron?
The angle iron? What
yeah,
is
the one we're going to cut. Where'd I put it?
Here it is. So folks, Steve just took a measurement. We got to cut some of this.
So that one was like right there.
So it looks like you're cutting off, what, maybe half an inch?
Yeah, is that not enough?
That should be, I think that'd be fine. Half an inch would be perfect.
Run up there and let me put this under here and see what that, what's the width of that channel itself?
Oh, where it's gonna mount?
Yeah, it looks like it's about half, but I bet it's more like 3/4 of an inch. And I bet you that's how I measured it.
All right, so I gotta measure this piece right here. Got so much junk in the way. I got this plastic bullshit where it's gonna mount.
I think I locked your jaws.
Oh, let me see here, hang on.
We'll just do it right there where the other fuses are at the bottom. It's easy measured there.
Well, this is where it's gonna mount, it's right here.
Yeah, that lip's the same all the way across. I told you I tightened it.
All right, there you go. Between the jaws.
Okay, this is, see, where I had before was here, and this is here.
Yep. So it's just you're just. I think.
Don't mind it being here, shorter, do you?
Being shorter?
Yeah, being here.
No, won't hurt a damn thing. Won't hurt a damn thing.
Okay, I'll go cut it.
Awesome. Oh, you okay, Steve? All right. So we're in wide mode on the camera, so probably not a lot to see. So this guy right here is the back side of our new master circuit breaker bus. That's hell for stout. That turned out just so beautifully. So you notice lots of random wires hanging down here and bullshit and stuff. It's bad. So let's see, this wire actually, this goes to, from the alternator. No, this, I need to land this directly on the, oh no, this goes over to the, I'm sorry. I have to land this on the shunt. That's where that goes. And the shunt then will land on the breaker bus from Master Bus. I need to put a terminal on this guy, and he is the alternator wire, and he will land on the big alternator breaker, which will land somewhere here in the middle. One of the other things I'm doing right at this moment, this is this handy dandy little thing I bought for a camper trailer that I no longer own. So we're gonna repurpose it, and it will go up here in this little crevice, and it will be the ground bus bar for all things that need a ground connection. It's got all nice heavy piece of brass. The holes are tapped, flathead screws like everything else. So I just gotta make some marks and drill a hole. And I don't think I can make some footage of that, I guess. Everyone loves to see holes getting drilled, right? Let's do this old school. Here. Wow, look at that. I have 2 holes. Oh, jeez. Still not big enough. Third time the charm? Yes. Third time is the charm. All right, so. Success is mine. I thought we were going to test fire today, but as we go through this thing, I keep running into little gotchas and little surprises and things that are bastardized wires that go nowhere. Finally found the wire that feeds our little cool G-meter clock thing up here. It's a hot wire. It goes directly back to the battery with no fuse. I'm McLovin. Anyway, so I'm gonna label these wires on these breakers here in a second. Got this awesome piece of bus bar material that's gonna go over here on the awesome new master bus. I just need to figure out which order the breakers are gonna go into. We decided, so the 50 amp alternator breaker is gonna be right here underneath the ignition switch and be visible by both pilots. We'll get another hole plug for this guy right here. This thing is a 5 amp. That's going to be alternator, alt FLD for field. It's a 5 amp. It's actually a switch breaker. It's meant to be turned on and off. It's not just a, you're not supposed to cycle and cycle and cycle a circuit breaker. Eventually it'll fail, but these things are meant to be cycled. Let's see. I could probably tighten this thing up and go ahead and land the alternator on the back of that and get that wire cleaned up. And it's just a matter of landing. See, this is the wire for the shunt. It's going to the bus. This is alternator wire that's going to a breaker. And then where's this other big fat guy right here? This guy here lands on the bus. That'll connect these two guys to this bus over here. And at some point, tomorrow I gotta remember to bring some wire to actually extend the avionics master switch wire. We still got to decide which breaker over here is going to go into which hole on this bus, and put them in some sort of sequence. And yeah. And then some of this stuff we've got breakers that have multiple things landed together, wires crimped together, and radio 1, radio 2, landing lights, happy slappy good time. So I gotta ID all that stuff and tear this thing apart. Probably land this avionics bus wire if that'll fit. I think I've got enough room on the screw to do that. Hopefully that doesn't introduce alternator whine into the into the system. Otherwise I'll have to pull it off of there and maybe extend it all the way to the other end of the bus. I don't know if that makes any difference at all, but just we pray for no alternator whine. Although generator whine is a thing. We had a condenser on there. Jeez. All right. Well, today is Saturday, and suffice to say, plane did not fire up today, but we are getting very, very close. I just need to get all these wires landed, and it'll work. It's just, folks, the struggle is real. So, you like real? Stay here with Wolf Pilot. Hey YouTube, time for a quick follow-up. Today is Sunday. Of course, the stupid thing comes out of my clip here. It is Sunday, May the 22nd at 2016. Look at this. Yeah, it sure is. Give you a quick update. I didn't really start filming today. There's a lot of underdash work. Stupid thing on my belt. Give you a little tour of what's going on here. So what is going on? What is going on is we've got the new master bus that is right here. You throw some hole plugs in there, I guess. Got plenty of those. Need to put placards on them, but yeah, some avionics missing there, just over there. No big whoop. Running wires, chasing loose ends, all this stuff is just incredibly time consuming, but everything works. Everything works. So we are literally ready. The airplane can't fly until I get underneath there with zip ties, and all this rat's nest has to be re-cable managed away from your movable surfaces. There's a T-bar back there, and can't fly until that's done. Got a few brass screws that need to go into the bus bar underneath there for storage. Past that, man, this is a stopping point. We got everything. I mean, this thing's literally ready to run.
Stopping point or a sobbing point?
Oh, nothing to cry about. I got the last screw in the hole, and I'm good to go. I have no qualms, concerns, issues.
We've tested all the systems.
Everything, turn on the master switch, everything comes on. We got strobes, we got avionics, we got everything that we need. So we are literally at the point where we're going to start this pig and see if if the alternator alternates.
And the oil stays in the airplane.
Well, that's the big thing, is the oil staying in the airplane. But
try to get a little. You're right. Oh,
yeah, that's.
I got some.
Really?
I got.
You're
some
gonna
more.
rip something off the bag. You're gonna rip that thing right out of whatever it's in underneath the dash. Then you'll be really sad.
Yeah, I wish I could find it on the inside. I'd replace the wire.
Well, we'll get to that point.
We're going to do it when we replace the master switch. We will find it. I'll put some stuff on there.
So we can zip tie all these things together right here.
Well, and we're going to change the zip ties out for real.
Yes, we're going to have to learn how to use the wax string. And I've got this really cool friend. Her name is Caitlin, and she knows how to use wax string. Maybe she'll teach me how to use wax string.
It's dental floss, big dental floss.
It definitely is big dental floss. Well, alrighty then. So
a clean airplane's a happy airplane.
yeah, it is. Definitely is. So anyway, this is Sunday. I'm just going to call this a wrap up. I've got training all this next week, so I'll be probably checking back with everybody then. This video will be out in another week. week or so if I get everything done. So everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you later.
AMF.
See ya.